Hi, welcome back to PMDD with C. I hope you're looking after yourself, and if you're going through Hell Week, I hope you're taking extra care of yourself. So if you're not familiar with my channel, I chit chat about PMDD. My aim is to create a community where we can just talk about anything that comes to mind about PMDD. I am no expert. I don't specialise in it, although I do have a diploma in counselling. I am a qualified counsellor, but I just want to say I am no expert in PMDD. I'm just very interested in it. Just to put that out there, if you need any advice or any medical attention, please obviously go to a trained specialist or your doctor. So, for my diploma in counselling, I did a short, small research project, or PMDD, obviously, and I thought I'd create a really boring video for you today, talking about my findings and just talking a bit about the research that I did. Try and make it as interesting as possible. I'm not really selling this video, am I? But no, it is interesting. So basically, it was a small scale research project that explored the impact of counselling on women and assigned female at birth, so AFAB individuals, who'd been diagnosed or self-diagnosed with premenstrual dysphoric disorder, PMDD. So basically, I just wanted to explore the lived experiences of people with PMDD, either diagnosed or self-diagnosed, before they had counselling and after they had counselling. Obviously, counselling was a very important aspect to bring into this research project because it was for a counselling diploma. So I was specifically interested in the lived experiences of people who had counselling for their PMDD and what it was like before, during and after. It was a teeny tiny research project. So again, the limitations were like the sample size was teeny tiny. So again, if I was doing a PhD or, you know, a larger scale research project, I'd need a bigger sample in order to get more accurate results. But I just thought it was in the things that I discovered, although I didn't really discover anything that you probably don't already know. So my research question was, how does counselling impact women and AFAB individuals who have premenstrual dysphoric disorder, PMDD? And a section here says, how is PMD relevant to the field of counselling? So in the UK, it's estimated that 824,000 women and AFAB individuals of age live with PMDD. Now, I got that stat from IAPMD 2023. 72% of people with PMDD report thoughts of unaliving. Again, I explained why unaliving, because apparently YouTube doesn't like the alternative word for that. So we'll stick with that word, which is higher than the general population, apparently. The general population, 10% of cross-national and mixed-sexed people report lifetime thoughts of unaliving. And that was from a study that I'll post the reference to in the description. The emotional symptom of PMDD can significantly disrupt daily life and cause conflict in relationships, and counselling can help in the management of the symptoms. So the participants in this study had a mixture of different modalities of counselling. So there was CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy, group cognitive behavioural therapy, DBT, group counselling by someone who was experienced in treating PMDD, integrative and person-centred. And when I explored life before counselling with the participants, the main themes that came up were cannot cope, the need for coping strategies. So yeah, the need for coping strategy. That's why these participants went to counselling, and the need to be understood. Well, I know I've mentioned this in a previous video, in the celebrity and PMDD video, going to the doctor where you feel like you should be understood. You go to them with a medical condition and then coming out feeling not validated, which is a common experience for many people who have PMDD this far, can really impact your mental health. So there was a need to be understood here as well, because that common theme of, oh, I feel like I'm going crazy, oh, I'm just crazy, this is my life, I'm mad, that's very common with people with PMDD, especially in the past. And people just want to feel validated. They want to know that it's a real thing that they go through every month. So there was a need for the counsellor's understanding and validation. There was also a theme around acceptance as well. So counselling has helped some of the participants to accept PMDD instead of fight it. Accept it. Accept it happens. Just accept. And sometimes that can even be a bit of a weight off the shoulders. What does acceptance look like? So for me, acceptance looks like many things, but in one way I feel acceptance is when your PMDD is descending upon you, telling yourself, speaking to yourself and saying, oh, okay, this is PMDD territory. I accept that this will be happening. And then hopefully self-compassion grows out of that acceptance, because by accepting you can be like, okay, I can't control what's happening to me at the moment, but I can try and put things in place that help me to take extra care of myself in this moment, if that makes sense. Also, there was a theme around education of the counsellor. So some counsellors might not know what PMDD is, just like some doctors do not. So yeah, there's a bit of education on the client side, which can be really frustrating, because if you go there and you want to be heard and understood and validated, but you're educating your counsellor about it, that can be quite triggering. And I'd be interested to know if you have had counselling for your PMDD, and what modality, if any interventions worked, or if it was just the holding space of that weekly set for you to explore and feel that emotion in the sessions that worked the most for you, or maybe it didn't work at all. I know counselling isn't for everyone. It can be a very strange experience. You have a stranger in front of you. You're supposed to be telling them your deepest emotions, stories, and you have to develop that relationship over time, and it can feel really uncomfortable for some and very strange. So I totally understand that. So it might not work for you, or you might not have been to counselling at all for your PMDD, and you might try and do things yourself every month to help you manage it. So yeah, nothing new here of what I found, but some key words. So validation, understanding, acceptance stood out. And validation, again, from medical professionals, has been amazing when I've been reading Reddit, when I've been looking at articles about PMDD, when we looked at the celebrity Instagram posts. Yeah, because no one wants to feel misunderstood. And when we go through PMDD, we can be very sensitive to rejection. So that of feeling misunderstood is not a very nice thing to feel. And coping, the word coping came up a lot. So coping. And that's what people with PMDD have to do every month, is cope. Cope with anxiety, cope with the physical symptoms or the cravings or the hopelessness, the worthlessness, the brain fog, the depression. Brain fog is a very weird one. It's if you could poetically describe brain fog in the comments, please do, because I'm interested to know if you experience that with your PDD and what it feels like for you. Like brain fog just like descends and it causes not confusion, but just very slow way of being. But yeah, I'd like to understand your definitions of brain fog and how it manifests in you as well. Here, this is a counselling term. So the Working Alliance plays a crucial role in therapeutic relationship between a counsellor and the client, because it is a relationship. And also psychoeducation for both the counsellor and the client is mental. So when the counsellor knows what PMDD is, that's very helpful. But again, if the client doesn't really know what PMDD is, like scientifically and how it manifests and all the different phases of the cycle, the counsellor giving the client psychoeducation around that can also be really helpful as well. Again, understanding your body and the way it works and why it's happening and when it happens can really help manage PMDD. So that was the study in a nutshell. So it's just about people's lived experiences and the impact on counselling on their overall experience of PMDD. It also emphasised the importance of psychoeducation, and yeah, it was just it's a stepping stone for further research, which I don't think I'll ever undertake because yeah, research is like, it's so time consuming, isn't it? And when you have like a full-time job, well, the last thing I want to do is another research project, like a dissertation, because it's very stressful, isn't it? But if, yeah, in the future, if I have the time, which I don't imagine I ever will have the time, maybe do that. But yeah, anyway, if you've had counselling for PMDD and you would like to share in the comments what life was like before, during and after, you're welcome to do that. Thank you for being here. And again, if you're going through Hell Week, please take extra care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.